This is the story of a young girl named Linda. Life was not kind to her. Linda lost both of her parents when she was just a little girl. They died suddenly, leaving her all alone in the world. She was their only child, and with no siblings or relatives to care for her, Linda grew up in a small mud hut her parents had left behind. But what made Linda's life even harder was the cruel tradition of her village. In that village, people called her an outcast, a person they believed was cursed or unclean. According to their old beliefs, no one was allowed to associate with an outcast. That meant no one could talk to her, play with her, or even share food or water with her. Whenever Linda stepped outside her hut, villagers would point fingers at her, laugh at her, and call her names. They mocked her, saying things like, "dirty outcast" and "child of shame." Linda would walk past them with her head down, fighting back tears. She never replied. She just swallowed her pain and quietly returned to her small, lonely hut. She had no friends, no one to comfort her, no family, no love, just silence. Her days were long and quiet, and her nights were full of tears. Every evening, when other children played or sat with their parents, Linda would sit on the floor of her hut, weeping into her hands, asking the sky, "Why me?" At night, instead of sleeping, Linda would stay awake, crying and praying. Her soft voice would whisper into the dark, "God, please help me. I am tired of being alone. I want to be happy. I want someone to care about me. I want to be free." She begged God every single night to hear her. She told him about her pain, her loneliness, and her wish to feel loved just once in her life. Her tears soaked her mat, but still she kept praying, believing that maybe, just maybe, God would hear her someday. Even though Linda's heart was broken, she never gave up. She still hoped that something good would happen to her. She believed that her life would not end in sorrow. She had faith that her story was not over yet. One sunny afternoon, Linda went into the forest to fetch firewood, just like she did many times before. The forest was quiet, with only the sound of birds chirping and dry leaves crunching under her feet. Her small hands held a cutlass, and her eyes searched the ground for sticks to gather. As she bent down to pick up a bundle of firewood, something strange happened. She heard her name. "Linda, Linda, Linda." Her heart jumped. She froze in fear and looked around quickly, but she saw no one. The forest was still. The air around her became heavy, and for a moment she thought her ears were playing tricks on her. But then she heard it again, clearly this time. A deep, gentle voice called her name, coming from a tree. She slowly turned toward a large old tree in front of her. Its trunk was wide, its roots deep, and its branches stretched into the sky. The tree stood still, but the voice came from it. Linda stood frozen, her eyes wide in shock. She whispered to herself, "Is this tree talking to me?" "Yes, Linda," the tree replied gently. "It is me talking to you. Please don't be afraid." Linda stepped back, scared but curious. "How do you know my name?" she asked, trembling. The tree sighed deeply, like it had been holding the truth for a long time. "Because I know you. I have been watching you. I know your pain. I know how your people treat you, how they laugh at you, how they call you names. I know you cry at night. I see you. I understand." Linda's eyes filled with tears. For the first time in her life, something understood her. She felt seen. "But how can you talk?" she asked softly. "You're a tree." The tree shook its branches lightly as if nodding. "I wasn't always a tree. I was once a human being, just like you. In fact, I was a great king, a rich and powerful king in a nearby village. But evil men, jealous of my throne, used dark magic to turn me into this tree so they could steal my crown." Linda gasped, covering her mouth. "That's terrible," she cried. "Yes," the tree said gently, "but I have accepted my fate for now. I do not want your pity, Linda. I only called you because I want to give you hope." "Hope?" Linda whispered. "Yes," said the tree. "Your life will not end in tears. There is something special about you, Linda. You have a pure heart. You are meant for greater things. I see it in you." Linda slowly stepped closer, no longer afraid. "How do you know so much about me?" The tree smiled through its voice. "In this form, I can see into people's hearts and souls. The moment someone comes near me, I know their story. And your story, Linda, is a painful one, but it will not stay that way forever." For the first time in a long while, Linda smiled. A real smile, small but honest. She sat near the tree, placed her firewood on the ground, and for a long time, they talked. She told the tree about her lonely life, her dreams, her questions, her fears, and the tree listened patiently, giving her comfort with every word. They laughed, they shared stories. The tree made her forget her pain, even if just for a while. When the sun began to go down, Linda picked up her firewood and stood up. She looked at the tree and smiled warmly. "Thank you," she whispered. "Come back tomorrow, Linda," the tree said softly. "I will always be here." Linda nodded and walked away, her heart lighter than it had ever been. For the first time in her life, someone cared. Someone believed in her, and even though it was a tree, it was enough. She knew deep in her heart, her life was about to change. From that day Linda met the talking tree in the forest, her life began to change slowly. She started visiting the tree often. She would carry her firewood, stop by the tree, and sit under its shade, sharing stories, laughing, and finding peace. The more time she spent with the tree, the happier she became. For the first time in her life, she didn't feel lonely. She didn't feel like an outcast. Around that tree, Linda felt special, loved, and truly seen. The tree always listened to her. It comforted her, encouraged her, and made her believe in herself again. She laughed more, she smiled brighter, and slowly her pain began to fade. Without even realizing it, Linda began to fall deeply in love with the tree, not just for what it was, but for the soul inside it. It had given her what no one else ever had: attention, care, and genuine love. One quiet afternoon, as they sat together under the gentle breeze, the tree spoke gently. "Linda, I have something to ask you." Linda turned to the tree with curious eyes. "Will you marry me?" the tree asked softly. Her heart skipped a beat. A warm tear rolled down her cheek, not from sadness but from joy. For years she had cried out to God, asking for love and happiness. Now it was standing, or rather growing, right in front of her. With a big smile and a soft voice, she said, "Yes, I will marry you." A few days later, deep in the heart of the forest where they first met, Linda and the strange tree were joined in a mystical wedding. The winds danced, the birds sang, and even the trees around swayed as if to celebrate their union. It was a spiritual moment, simple, quiet, yet full of magic. As soon as Linda said, "I do," something amazing happened. The tree began to glow. Its branches shook gently, and a soft light surrounded it. Right before Linda's eyes, the tree transformed into a tall, handsome man. His skin glowed like gold. His eyes sparkled like diamonds, and his smile was warm and loving. Linda gasped in shock, her hands over her mouth. "Linda," he said, taking her hands gently. "My real name is King Leo. I was the ruler of a great kingdom until evil men turned me into a tree. But your love broke the curse. You saved me, and now I am here to love you forever." Linda broke down in tears, tears of joy. She had found love, not just any love, but a royal, powerful, and everlasting one. She had gone from an outcast to a queen. King Leo took her to his beautiful kingdom, where they were welcomed with songs, dancing, and great celebration. The people rejoiced that their king had returned, and with a beautiful queen by his side. Linda ruled the land with kindness, wisdom, and compassion. She never forgot where she came from. She made sure no one in the kingdom was ever treated as an outcast again. She and King Leo loved their people deeply and led with peace and justice. Every morning, Linda woke up in the royal palace and smiled at the sky, whispering, "Thank you, God, you didn't forget me." She never stopped thanking God for lifting her from sorrow and blessing her far beyond her imagination. Moral lessons. 1. Never look down on anyone. The rejected today may become royalty tomorrow. 2. Kindness and patience attract miracles, even from the most unexpected places. 3. True love sees the heart, not the labels others place on us. 4. Never stop praying. Your answers may come in the most magical way. 5. Outcasts in the eyes of men can be queens in the eyes of destiny. Dear beautiful viewers, thank you so much for listening to this touching story of Linda the Outcast. I hope it inspired you, touched your heart, and reminded you that no matter how life begins, it can end in glory. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel, like, share, and comment. Stay with us for more magical, emotional, and meaningful stories that will bless your soul. Keep watching, keep believing, and never give up on your dreams.